Hi, my name is Mindy Juliana. I'm from Fairbanks, Alaska. This training video is why we sharpen customers' knives in the field. The Service Call program was created in 1995, and I was lucky enough to be one of the first reps in the country and the first rep in the Western region to sharpen the customers' knives in the field. And over the last 17 years, I've learned a lot of things about how it's done. And what I've learned is that if it's done properly, that you can keep your customers' knives sharp for decades. These training videos are designed to give you the skills necessary to provide long-term service for your customers so that you can build trust with them and have a long-term relationship. So as we all know, Cutco cutlery is one of the highest quality products ever made in the United States. We provide our customers with two different edges. We have the straight edge and we have the double D edge, and they're used for different purposes. The double D edge, as we know, has 3 straight blades between the teeth. Now it's not the food that you're cutting, it's the surface that you're cutting on that dulls the knife. So as you go back and forth on the surface, all knives are going to wear down. Well, with the double D edge, it's the teeth that wear down. The inner blades are recessed so they're not touching the board. So they're designed to stay sharp for 7 to 10 years without any maintenance. Now I recommend in-home sharpenings every 3 to 5 years, and that can help the customer's knives stay sharp for decades. Anything that we can't sharpen, the company will, and that's a part of our forever guarantee. So at any time the customers can send their knives back to the factory and the company will regrind a new edge on their knives for free. Now the straight edge knives are a little different because the entire length of the blade is running against the surface. There's no teeth to protect it. So these actually require some in-home sharpening. So as you use it, right here is an example of the 2 different knives that are available. What most people have in their home is the wedge. And what Cutco has is called the concave grind. And you can see here on the Santoku knife that the concave grind right here, it's actually thinner through the center here. And the concave grind serves 2 purposes, one of which is to push the food away from the blade so it's not going to get stuck when you're cutting. And the second is so that it has long-term sharpness. It will actually hold its edge longer, long-term. And I have this picture here to show you an example of how this works. So again, it's not what you cut, it's what you cut on that dulls the knife. So as you use any knife, the tip is going to wear down. So these require in-home sharpening. So with the wedge, the customer is going to sharpen their knife, and I'm going to exaggerate this so that you can see it more clearly. As they sharpen it, they start moving up the steel a little bit. So what you start out with is a nice edge, and most knives are sharpened between a 22 and a 25 degree angle. You start out with a nice edge, but as you sharpen it, you actually get into thicker steel. And so the thicker the steel, the more often you have to sharpen it. And eventually you have to sharpen the knife every single time that you use it, and it will need to be replaced. So Cutco has what's called the concave grind. And the concave grind, again, as you use it, the tip wears down, and these require sharpening. So as you sharpen it, the difference is that as you sharpen it and you move up the steel, you actually keep the same angle. And so the knife will stay sharper and it will hold its edge longer. And as you move up into thinner steel, the knife needs to be reground, which of course again is a free service with the company. And so what we can do in the field is we can actually keep these knives sharper longer by holding their edge longer. And so again, this is one of the reasons why we do the in-home sharpenings, is to keep the knives sharper in the field longer for the customers. This in turn helps build a relationship with the customer. They trust you because you know what you're talking about and you're an expert, and then your averages go up. So these training videos are designed to help you increase your average order, increase your closing ratios, and help you build better customers because you provide the highest service available. Thank you.